This is May 4th and 5th. It's at the very top of your paper. Are you there? Once you get there, go to the activity box 5. It's reading! Woohoo! We're going to do pages 11 and 12 today in our reading packet. So before we start, let's look at this. It says, I can read the story and explain the beginning, middle, and the end. Don't worry, we're going to do this together, okay? So let's go read our story really quick. Hi friends, we're going to read a story today, and I thought I'd bring some of my friends along to share the experience. So, let's get started. Go ahead and go to page 11. Make sure you're there. It says, recounting stories. Retelling stories will help you understand the order of events and how these events happen. So, we're telling the order of the story, right? Good storytellers take care to retell or recount the important events of the story in the order they happen. You can recount a story by telling the important events from the beginning, middle, and end. Read the story. Think about what happens at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. So I want you to follow along with your finger on your paper to the story. We're reading the one about the elephants. Can you see it? I'm going to start right here. Make sure you use your finger and follow along with me. Are you ready? Get your fingers out. Start at the first word. A long time ago, elephants had short noses. But one day, a crocodile bit a young elephant on the nose. Oh my goodness. Now when I look at the picture, you can see there's a crocodile and an elephant. Make sure you're looking at those. Those are important too. They help also tell a story. Now go to the second paragraph. It starts with the. The elephant tried to pull away. As he pulled and pulled, his nose got longer and longer. Oh my goodness. Remember, you're looking at the pictures too. When I look at the picture, I see the elephant pulling backwards, and I see the crocodile pulling the other way. What do you think is going to happen? Can you make any predictions? Let's keep reading and see what happens. Now we're going to go to the third box where it says when. When he pulled free, his nose was 5 feet long. He didn't like it at first. Then he found new things to do with his long nose. He reached into the trees to grab leaves to eat. Best of all, it was fun to take baths. Look at the pictures. What does the picture tell us that he's doing? Let's look at it for a second. I see that his nose looks longer, so then he can spray his back, right? Wow, great job, friends. All right, now you're going to go to page 12 of your activity set, and it's going to look like this. It looks like a lot of work, but we're going to do it together so we can all get it done. Are you ready? Now that we've read our story, we have to do the back side. So as you can see, Miss Issacs drew a similar picture to what is on the back side of your paper. So she drew a chart that looks just like this on the board. So we're going to do it all together. At the very top, the directions say, think, fill in the chart to tell the important story events in the order that they happen. Okay, so we remember reading the elephant story, right? Okay, it says recounting stories. Recounting is just a fancy word for beginning, middle, and end, right? Recounting means you're telling what's happening in the story. I'm remembering what's happening in the story. I'm recounting what's happening in the story. So we're going to tell the beginning, middle, and the end. So let's go ahead and flip back to that back side. Remember I said when I was reading, look at the pictures. They're going to help you. So remember, when we first read this first part, the crocodile had bit the young elephant's nose, right? Remember, they were very short at the beginning. So on your paper, you can write a long time ago, elephants. Miss Issacs made a mistake. Sometimes you have to erase when you make mistakes. Elephants had short noses. Now let's think for a second. What else happened in that very first block? That's important information, right? Because the important information that we're learning by the end of the story is that he has a long nose. So we need to make sure we know that at the beginning of the story, we knew that they had short noses. So what's another important thing that happens in that first box? What can we see in the picture, or what can you remember when we were reading? Can you think about it? Maybe turn back and look at your story. Miss Isaacs is thinking that it's important to mention that the crocodile bit a elephant's nose, right? So let's write that down. A crocodile bit an elephant's nose. Okay? I would suggest that you might pause the video and write this down before I keep going, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go on to the middle section. What do you think happened in the middle of the story? Remember, if you need to remember, you can remember what we read or you can look at the picture. It's no trouble to go back. Can we think about it for a second? Well, Miss Isaacs remembers, after she's looking at this picture, it was talking about how the elephant was pulling one direction and the crocodile was pulling the other one, right? So I'm going to put the elephant pulled back one way and the crocodile pulled back the other way. Again, if you need to pause to write this down, feel free, okay? Because Miss Isaacs is going to keep going. All right, so this one says the end. Remember, if you need to look back at your reading and look at the picture and look at remember what we were talking about. I think that we should write down something about how they pulled free, right? And now his nose was super long and he could give himself baths, right? Remember he was spraying his back? So now I'm going to say the elephant he pulled away, right? The elephant broke free. He pulled away and his nose was 5 feet long. Right? Now what did I just say he could do, right? He could help, it helped him to give himself a bath, right? This helped him to take a bath. Right? There you go. You did the beginning, the middle, and the end. Now if you need to pause it to write down what we wrote down for the end, feel free, okay? I'm just going to go over what we talked about. Okay? So we knew at the beginning we were working on I can read a story and explain the beginning, middle, and the end, right? Great job. We just did that, right? So then we read the story, right? We read this story right here. Remember it? We stopped and talked about each box. And then we talked about looking at the pictures and how that's important. And then we came over to the whiteboard and we talked about recounting stories. Remember, recounting stories is just a fancy word for beginning, middle, and end. If you're remembering the beginning, the middle, and the end, you're recounting what's happening in the beginning, middle, and the end. They mean similar things. You're just remembering it. So let's look at what we put for the beginning. The beginning. A long time ago, elephants had short noses. A crocodile bit an elephant's nose. Notice how I followed along with my finger. A good tip. It helps you to become a better reader if you follow along with your finger. It'll help you follow along where you're going. Make sure you're reading in the right line. And then we went down to the middle box. The elephant pulled back one way and the crocodile pulled back the other way. We looked at our story and we could see the picture and we could remember what we were reading about, right? The elephant pulled one way and the crocodile pulled the other way, right? And then they finally broke free, right? That was the end. The elephant pulled away and his nose was 5 feet long. This helped him to take a bath. Remember, in the third picture, it shows him taking a bath. So that's what we worked on. Now at the bottom of your page, it says, retell the story how the elephant got its long nose to your partner. Use the events from your chart to help you. So find somebody at home or find a partner so you can tell them the story, okay? Make sure to go do that right now, and I'll see you next time.